Alright, well, are you ready to hit that play button?
Yeah, I think I am.
Alright, let's do it.
So, you've got career and you've got free mode. So the thing about Real Farm is that in career mode, you start with absolutely nothing. You start with, well, not nothing, you start with, you know, clothes on your back and a truck. And then you'll have to go to farms and you'll have to take jobs from them and work your way up in that way.
Alright, here's Matt Davis.
Yeah.
Hey there, my name is Matt Davis. Nice to meet you. This must be your first day in town. That's
so
right,
if you go through that dialogue,
if you do your best on your first job, you might
just
become
start
my
out here,
protege.
and you'll see learning the basics on the right.
Alright, so we got a nice little blue truck here.
Yeah, so that's a thing you start out with. You've got this truck.
And 20K, that's a good amount of money.
Yeah, that's you start out with 20K, but that's not nearly enough to buy your own equipment and tractor and get your own fields and farm. So the first thing you should do, it's highlighted on the map as well, is get into the tractor marked on the minimap.
Alright, well I think I'm a little lazy to walk, because I know
Yeah,
I'm going to be farming hard all day. I'm going to drive my vehicle over there.
Yeah.
Oh, wait for this car to pass. Wow, the graphics are really nice, man.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's also because Real Farm has been, of course, built up from the ground. You know, it's a new game,
right?
So we've kind of had the liberty to, yeah, to make it, you know, on par with today's graphics, of course.
Oh, hey, I don't know how to drive backwards. Oh boy.
What's happening? I
tried to look where I was going while I was reversing,
right.
and I just crashed right into the pole.
Right.
So now with all this farm area, did you guys have specific places in mind that you wanted to like replicate, or is this all thought from the top of the head?
Yeah, well, we did have some ideas. It was mostly, of course, as you can see, the American rural areas.
Right, like typical farmland.
Yeah. I don't get to the States too often myself, but we were thinking of places like Kansas and stuff, but mostly just in general American rural areas. That's what we went for with Real Farm.
You guys definitely hit the nail on the head, man.
Yeah? Oh, thanks. That's that's great coming from someone who actually lives there. Once you enter the tractor, you can see like the prompt is telling you to connect the front weight. So you'll have to drive over to the front weight and press 1 to hitch it to the front.
Right.
Alright, is it hitched?
Sweet! Everyone's gonna be making fun of how I hitch this. Oh boy.
Yeah, really? Yeah, it takes some getting used to, you know. I've played quite a lot, of course, now, so yeah.
Alright, we got it.
Awesome. So you've got the hitch in front and the plow in the back, right?
That's right.
Alright, so yeah, now it's time to drive to the field. So the field is actually not that far away. It's literally across the street. So once you get to the field, I don't know if you are already.
Yep, I'm looking right at it.
Right, so what you should do then is when you drive up to the field, you should bring up your attachment controls. So it's bound to control, left control, and then the wheel comes up and you can rotate your plow left or right. It's up to you really what you
oh wow,
what you think is best. So when you do that, you can see your plow rotate, and then you can start plowing your land.
Oh, what?
So while you're doing this, you can see the bar at the top right is starting to fill up.
Oh.
So that's your progress meter, which tells you how far you are with climbing the land.
Also, okay. Oh, wow.
And yeah, beware, you can actually plow outside of the field. Because yeah, it wouldn't be real if you couldn't.
Right. Just going out plowing everything in sight.
Yeah, yeah, you could do that, you know, if you want.
I'm just gonna have to pay for new equipment after.
Yeah. So another thing is, while you're doing this, you can change your view, of course, and you do this with V, the V button. So you can go first person and third person.
Ooh, wow, okay. Now I'm really in the driver's seat.
Yeah. That of course helps some more with the immersion, you know.
Oh man, I am not doing a neat job. Do I get critiqued on how neat it is?
No, not really, not yet. You're learning the basics.
Oh, I should have rotated it to the right on. Okay, I get it now. So it's pretty crazy because I remember when hearing about Real Farm, I was like, you know what? Like farming and gaming seem so far apart from each other.
Mm-hmm.
How did you guys even get the idea of creating a farming simulator?
Yeah, well, of course the genre already exists. That's not something we invented, of course. But we did see that there wasn't a lot of games in the genre. There also wasn't a lot of, you know, competition, or nobody was really bringing new stuff, you know. So we just thought, you know, we can do this too. We want to bring people a new simulation, new farm simulation. So our thing with Real Farm was actually what you saw in the beginning, the career mode. We're also trying to bring back the gaming to simulation, you know?
Right.
So in career mode, like you are doing right now, you're starting out with nothing, and then you have to work your way up, and you know, it actually has goals. You know, it's not just a big sandbox. Of course, you have a lot of freedom still. It's still a simulator, but it really brings the gaming back to a simulator. You know?
Yeah,
so,
definitely. Because you know what's crazy too is like people would think, oh, a farming simulator, okay, but I bet you there are thousands and tens of thousands of people who are like, man, I wonder what it's like to run a farm.
Yeah.
You know,
and
and now you can experience that. And I mean, I would literally think that if I were to step on a farm, be told to hop in a tractor, hitch some things, and go plow a field, this is exactly what it would be like.
Yeah, well, that's what we're going for, you know. Oh, it started raining in my game right now.
It was a bit overcast, but it looks like the sun came out on my end.
Ah, right. So yeah, there's also a dynamic weather system in the game, but it's not just visual. What also happens is, for instance, when it rains, you can't harvest your crops, because in real life that doesn't work as well. So it actually, you know, is not just visual.
Oh, and you're actually timed on it too. You have a certain amount of time. Okay.
Yeah, you know, because you're working for someone,
Mr.
as
Davis.
a contractor, you know. Yeah, for Mr. Davis. You'll actually have to do it in a certain time. For these missions, these starting missions, of course, it's easily doable. But as you go on, you'll get more time, but you'll also get bigger fields and other jobs, of course. You get plowing, you get sowing, you get cultivating, harvesting, all kinds of stuff. We've actually, it's of course no secret, we've released this game in October. So we did have kind of a rough start, actually.
That was gonna be my next question. You guys announced the game back in August. What was the reaction like to that?
Well, when we announced the game, it was all, you know, we were a new competitor in the genre. People were really looking forward to it. We actually got quite a lot of attention. People were very excited about, you know, having a new player in the genre. So that was really awesome to see. You know, people who were really interested and really wanted Real Farm to be a great game, because. Yeah, that's what we saw as well. People were getting a little tired as well, you know, from just having a few games in their genre.
Right.
That was actually awesome to see. You know, we didn't really release that much when we announced the game, and even when we announced the release date of the game. We didn't release that much footage or info, but people, you know, were really interested in the game, and that was very cool to see. So yeah, but when we went on and launched the game on 20 October, of course we got a lot of feedback, and you know, also negative feedback. That's of course what happens when you when you release your game.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's of course what happens. It's our first simulation game, and we've already improved quite a lot on the game.
So you guys let the community have a big say in what you guys do, and you've even noted saying that, you know, the updates and everything that's going to be added is essentially in the hands of the community.
Yeah, that's true.
How are you guys like intimidated by that? Is there anything that you guys would worry about? Anything that you're extremely excited about with that? And how does that work exactly?
Yeah, well, we've actually that was the whole idea of the game, actually, because when we started, when we announced it and when we started working on it, the whole idea was to have people have a say in what the game was going to really be, because as I said, we want to, you know, present a solid game in its core, but we're going to expand on it a lot more, and what to expand is really up to the players, as you said. So no, we're not really intimidated by the ideas people might have, because, you know, if they want to see it, why won't we do it? You know.
That's very true.
Yeah.
And you're getting the feedback from the people who are playing your game, and it will help you guys help them.
Yeah. So for instance, on Steam and also on other social media like Facebook, since the announcement, we've actively been asking people, you know, what would you like to see in the game, even when people didn't even hadn't even seen the game yet, you know, hadn't even seen gameplay yet. We were asking those questions already, because we really want to know, you know, from nothing, what kind of game Real Farm should be.
It must be actually a great feeling for you guys to get such feedback and to be able to expand and grow with the community as well, you know, because it's more of like you guys are like a family, you know, like a Real Farm family, and you guys go out, you know, you tackle all this with you guys and the community. I think that's awesome.
It feels great, you know, when people get excited about stuff you're working on. So yeah, that's really awesome, actually. So I don't know. Are you right now? You are done with plowing,
right? Yep. You know, took a little while, but I got it.
Awesome.
So I just dropped off the equipment. Mr. Davis told me how awesome I was, and now I am walking to the job board.
Okay. Yeah. So that's it. You'll have to go to the job board, and it'll have a new job for you. Also by Matt Davis.
Alright, hit E for jobs. Let's see. Learn to cultivate.
Yeah. So the next step after plowing a field is to cultivate that field. So you'll get, for this job, you'll get new equipment. So yeah, there's a new tractor waiting for you. So if you want, you can
Alright.
hop in.
Ah, the green one. Awesome.
Right.
Okay, alright. Now, connect the weight to the front and the cultivator to the back of the tractor.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's a little quicker. We're kept in step. I'm on my way to the field.
All geared up.
All geared up
So,
and ready to go. Oh, look at that fresh plowed field. Look how amazing that looks.
Yeah, it kind of, you know, resets a little after you've completed the job.
What? No, that's exactly how I did it.
Yeah. I believe you.
Has anyone that was producing the game, did they actually work on a farm or have any sort of experience in that matter?
Well, the fun thing is, because we are the publisher of the game and we own the IP, it was developed by Triangle Studios, which is also a Dutch studio, a Dutch developer, who live in the province of Friesland, in the city Leeuwarden, which is a very rural province actually. So everyone who works there definitely has a relative or knows someone who owns a farm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they were really into, you know, they really know how to, they really know how it works actually. Because, yeah, they grew up, you know, in such a rural environment actually. So, yeah, that helps with developing the game.
Yeah, that's like first-hand experience.
Yeah.
Oh, how you doing with the cultivating?
I'm nearly done actually.
What?
I'm
Man, you're doing all that talking and cultivating, and you're doing better than me. Man, that's unfair.
With one hand right now. Okay, I'm done. So yeah, I'm deactivating the tool and folding it right now. Gonna turn on my lights.
You're just showing off, man. Now this with the story mode, how far can you actually go within this game?
Well, you can go as far as you want actually, because it goes like this, you know. And now, right now, you're actually a little bit in a kind of tutorial missions. So you'll do the 4 main stages of working on a field. You do plowing, cultivating, and then you sow, and then you harvest.
Oh, wow.
Those are the 4 main things you'll be doing. But of course, there's a lot more to be done. You know, spraying pesticide, mowing grass, that kind of thing.
Wow.
So when you get done with this, you can go over to other farms, accept their jobs, and after that you can buy your own equipment, buy your own tractors and attachments, and then you get jobs that require to have to bring your own equipment. So you improve on that, you do those jobs, those get you more money. Eventually you can buy your own fields. You can actually buy the fields from the farmers you've been working for, and also the farmers you've been working for more will like you more, and they'll, you know, cut you a better deal for their field when you buy it from them. So later on, when you complete all those jobs, you can buy your own fields, and then you can buy your own farm eventually. And you know, you can say that would be you know, the primary goal, but you know, you can continue after that. Of course, you can continue doing other jobs for others.
So even even if you do all that work, right? You buy your own farm and continue. Now you're really just beginning the game. You know what I mean? Like that's a great sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
And you know, responsibility in a sense too, because you have to upkeep everything.
You have to upkeep everything, and you can, of course, if you don't have time to upkeep, keep up all your fields by yourself, you can also hire workers.
What?
Wow. Yeah, to maintain those fields for you. So you have to go over to your field, see what needs to be done, and then you can hire a worker and say, do that with my equipment. So you'll be like Matt Davis in this situation,
Right.
you'll be
taking
the one in
naps
charge.
and having people do your farming for it.
Yeah. So another thing is just I'm just seeing that right now as well. Maybe in the top right, you see that little bar with the running guy next to it.
Yep.
We've also got a stamina bar. So if you get tired or you work too hard, too long, you'll actually have to go to sleep.
Oh wow!
At your house, the time will advance 6 hours, and it'll refill your stamina. So if you don't go to sleep and your stamina bar will deplete, you'll actually just fall asleep and you'll be forced to go home, and it'll do that for you.
That's awesome.
You'll actually have to do that, so you don't fall asleep on the job.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that to happen.
No, Matt Davis will get really.
He's gonna be really pissed because you're gonna have to wake him up from his nap that he's always taking.
Yeah. Another thing, maybe you haven't noticed yet, but if you use equipment, it actually gets dirty as well.
Oh, so you have to wash that too?
Yeah, you can wash your equipment and your tractor. Right now, this is quite a small field, so it doesn't get as dirty as it could. But if you don't wash your tractor for a while, it will get really dirty. So you can wash it down back at your farm.
What about the mechanics of the vehicles? Do you have to upkeep that as well?
Vehicles can break down, yeah. So you'll have to maintain those by repairing them in time, but they do break down, yeah.
I'm just gonna have to change my approach now, because I just realized that I'm gonna have to be making some really tight turns with this, and I'm not gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, talking about turns, actually, a thing we had from launch was that the vehicles had quite a large turning radius. So that wasn't too that wasn't too good, of course, but we've recently fixed that as well. So right now the vehicles will have a way smaller turning radius, and will feel more responsive and more realistic. So that's also an example of things we've been working on and still working on to improve on the game.
From your standpoint with the game, is there anything that you would like to improve on?
Well, for now, I think for me the game is now stable and running well and solid. So I think for me adding new content would be the way to go now. And personally, what I would like to see, I guess, more livestock, because we do have livestock in the game right now.
Oh, what?
Yeah, we have cows and sheep and pigs and chicken. But we could always improve on that, because there are so many farm animals. We've been actually getting a lot of suggestions about that as well. For instance, a lot of people want to see horses in the game. That's I don't know. That's a thing that people really want to see. So I think that would be awesome too.
Yeah, definitely. Horses are awesome, man. Make sure you look both ways before crossing the street. I honestly like that you guys added traffic like that, because that adds even more of a sense of reality.
Yeah.
Matt Davis, excellent. Well, you know what they say, whoever sows generously will also reap generously. So check the job board for your next assignment. And me and Matt Davis are going to become best friends. Alright, finish the Learn to Harvest job, which is available on the job board. So I guess that's the final...
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the final one, it's harvesting.
Okay, let's do it. So for the future, is there any exciting news or games that's going to be released for Soedesco?
You know, in general, just any games, other games than Real Farm, or
yeah, other games besides the simulating.
Well, you know, a lot. Of course, we haven't done that yet, but of course we're also going to publish games on the Nintendo Switch. So a lot of games will be announced for that as well. Yeah, we've got quite a lot announced, but not out yet right now. For instance, what we also do is publish a lot of indie games that are currently digital, and we bring them to retail. For instance, I don't know if you know the game, but Owlboy.
No, I've actually never heard of it.
Okay, so that's actually a pretty popular indie game. We're bringing that to retail as well. We don't have a release date yet or platforms announced yet, but you'll have to stay tuned for that. So we recently released Wapo, which is it was already out for PC, for Steam last year, but we recently brought it to PlayStation and Xbox One. So that's actually a 2D adventure side-scroller with RPG elements as well. It's just a really cute game.
Oh, that's awesome!
And you know, the whole aesthetic of it is just you know, every time I start the game up, it just puts a smile on my face right away.
There's nothing better than that.
Yeah, the music and how it looks, that's just awesome. So we recently, just last Friday, we released another retail game, another indie game that we released in retail because it's been out digitally already. Is Tricky Towers, which is yeah, kind of like a Tetris-like game where you have to stack blocks that are coming down, and you have to build up your tower using those blocks, and you have it's just a fun little party game.
Oh, that's really cool. So yeah, it's you could play. It's co-op.
Yeah, so co-op. It's more like versus. So you have to you have 3 game modes. You've got race, you've got puzzle, and you've got survival. So in race, you'll have to build up your tower and be the first one to reach the finish line. You've got all sorts of, you know, magic spells to protect your building or topple the one of your opponent. That's just a fun little party game. So 2 more games coming this year still are Defunct and Fearful Symmetry and The Cursed Prince, which are digital only releases for console. Fearful Symmetry is also coming to PC. Fearful Symmetry is a puzzle game, a casual puzzle game where you control 2 characters in opposite dimensions, and they move opposite from each other. I don't know really how to put it in words, but when you go that way with one character, the other one goes the other way.
Wow!
Yeah, you'll have to navigate through a lot of levels to reach safety. So that's really fun.
Yeah, that sounds like a really cool twist to a game.
Yeah. So the other thing is Defunct, which is more like a race game with a focus on flow. You're this robot, and you'll have to race your way through landscapes using, you know, gravity to stick to the ground and then jump from from mountains and stuff. That's coming out for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One still this year. So yeah, that's actually a little bit of what we're doing right now, but we've got a lot more in the works where I can't really talk about yet, but that will be announced, you know, shortly.
That's awesome, man. That's so exciting to hear stuff like that. You know, it's always cool to look forward to new style games.
Yeah, yeah, and we do a lot of different types of games. You know, so as you can see right now, you're playing a farm simulation game, and then we've also got, you know, a casual puzzle game coming out later. So you don't always know what to expect with us. So I think that's
part of your guys' charm.
Yeah, I think that's a fun thing about what we do as well. We have games in pretty much every genre, from kids games, party games, to full-on horror games. Like, oh, I forgot that one, Dollhouse.
Dollhouse.
Yeah. So that's really a horror game.
I've been wanting to play a horror game, so
right.
I think
so,
that might be.
It's coming out later next year somewhere. I can't really go into that too deep yet, but yeah, we've got a lot of people asking for that one a lot, and it's really fun to see people, you know, really excited for actually a lot of what we do. So that's really fun.
That's awesome, man. Is there a website that people could go check out to keep, you know, up to date with all the news you guys have?
Yeah, of course. We've got just our website is www.soedesco.com. Really straightforward. And then you can check all the news we drop on there. You can check out our whole portfolio of games we've done and will be doing. And of course, you can also follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all that stuff.
Awesome. All right, job is complete.
Awesome. Oh, you've actually beat me.
I beat. See, man, protege becomes the master.
Yeah, yeah, that's what happens. Well, actually, that's also kind of what happens in real farm. You know, in career mode, you work your way up from nothing and you become the master eventually. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, you've done it pretty quickly then.
So for Real Farm, where can people buy and download this game?
Right now it's out on PC, on Steam, so digitally on Steam, in the Xbox One store and also on the PlayStation store. It's also out physically, so you know, go over to your local retailer and they'll probably have it. Also for PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4.
Learning harvesting. Let's see. It's one of the best harvests ever. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Diggs.
So I'm done right now, actually. So let me deactivate.
Oh, see, look at that. If you continue, you may be my successor.
Yeah.
It's time to buy your own tractor, so you'll earn more doing jobs with your own equipment. Check out the other farmers too. Wow.
So this is actually where it begins. You know, the next objective is to buy your own tractor, but you'll learn that you don't have enough money yet. So you'll have to go around, get into your truck, drive around the map and find other farmers as well to do jobs for them. And yeah, then you can earn more money eventually, so buy your own tractor and then you'll get new objectives. And yeah, that's from there on out, you know, that it'll get better.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, I really appreciate you coming along for the ride in the beginning of the game. I had a ton of fun.
No problem at all.